Just waiting on the Chinaman.
Who's Chinaman?
Are you allowed to say that in 2018?
I think
the term is Chinky McChink, from what I remember.
Whoa! I know you can't say that. That is not all right.
I think the rule is Keenan's allowed to
Is
say
it?
horrifyingly awful racial stereotypes as long as they're about his race. Those are the new rules as far as I understand them.
I see.
You can make really bad racial
life
slurs
decisions.
as long as it's your race. Yeah, it's totally okay apparently.
Are you allowed to say the word race?
Only if you are a member of a race.
I prefer marathon.
If you're not a member of any race, you can't use the word race.
I think it's possible for you to be a part of no race.
This is the best of 2017 show.
Hey, it's 2018, man.
Yeah, but this is the best of 2017.
We had to wait till the very end of. We had this just at the last. Something might come in under the wire, right?
Yeah.
Right.
We're gonna do something a little bit different. You guys comfortable just to jump into it?
Sure.
Yeah,
Who wants
sure.
to wait for that?
Because I don't know how long this is going to take. I don't know if we want to talk about other things, but why don't we just start?
We're already recording an hour late, so let's go.
We're going to do something a little bit different. Last year, what we did is we had 5 people on. Is that right?
Yeah.
And we went through our number 5s and number 4s, number 3s, and it kind of went a little long. It kind of felt a little draggy, and so to make it a little more interesting, maybe it's worse. We came up with a list of 30 games that are potentially, top 10 contenders. Is that fair?
And just looking at this list, you can tell whose games are whose.
Oh yeah, it's totally in order. Absolutely, it is. So what we're gonna do though is that with those 30 games, I'm gonna put them into like a randomizer, like draw from a hat thing.
All right.
And then we'll get 2 games. And then we'll just, all 3 of us, if we have something to say, if we're going to argue, it's fine. But we're just going to vote on which of the 2 is the winner of those 2, which is a better game. 2. And then we'll just keep working through them until we have the top 10. That sound good?
This could turn out poorly.
Yeah, it could be terribly. It could be terrible. But I mean, at least it'll be somewhat interesting, and we might get some like upsets or something.
All right.
We've got brackets. That's cool. Let's go with that.
Yeah, so we'll see how this works out. All right.
Let's get ready to rumble.
I don't want to do this anymore.
Keenan, that's a tough one to pull off. I don't know if you.
I'm not trying to. If I did, I'd be sued, I think.
Really? That confident? Wow.
Okay, we're gonna start off real difficult, I think.
And no throwing like you pick whatever it picks on that randomizer.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm just giving you exactly what's here. Okay.
All right.
Nier or Resident Evil 7.
Oh well, I mean, I haven't played Nier, so.
Okay, I'm gonna vote for Nier.
Resident Evil 7.
Okay, Nier wins.
Great. So Resident Evil 7 is off the list now.
Even if you haven't played it, you still get to vote. Even if you haven't played both, it's just which one you feel is better. Right. Okay, ready? The second one.
Well, okay. Well, Tim, do you want to make an impassioned argument to try and sway one of us?
We're going to be here fucking forever.
I don't even know that we can, because I know Chris will never budge, and with you, I don't even know if you played Resident Evil 7. Have you?
I'm not interested at all in Resident Evils anymore.
Okay,
I've given them my shot.
Next, Wolfenstein 2 or Everybody's Golf?
Wolfenstein 2.
I played Wolfenstein 2. From what I heard of it, it was... I don't know.
I'm going to say Everybody's Golf, so it's up to you, Tim.
And I haven't played Everybody's Golf.
What are you thinking? You got to vote.
If I had... What would I be more excited about someone buying for me? Wolfenstein 2.
Done. So. Yakuza 0 or Res Infinite?
Oh, shit.
Yakuza 0. Are you serious? I haven't even played... I've played a bit of Res, but...
Res is great, but
Yakuza 0. Even though I've put so much time in Res in the last 2 days, it's not even funny. Like I've been living in that game.
Destiny 2 or Nex Machina?
I played Nex Machina with Keenan last night.
Yep. Night ago.
I just want to...
That was last night.
Considering the amount of...
Like, come on. There's no argument about this.
Nex Machina.
Really?
Yep.
You really hate Destiny that much?
Yeah. Wait, did you see me?
Wow.
As much as I love Nex Machina, I have to also say Destiny.
Boo.
Next is Gundam versus Evil Within 2.
What the hell is he? So nonsense. Obviously, I'm gonna pick Evil Within 2.
Gundam versus.
I'm also gonna choose Gundam versus this time.
Yeah, of course.
Super Hot VR, Fire Emblem Echoes.
Super Hot VR. Easy.
Golf Story or Thimbleweed Park.
Golf Story.
Well, that doesn't matter what I say. So.
Golf Story.
No, you got put down at least what you want,
Golf
Tim. Oh, okay.
I don't care. You know what? Thimbleweed Park. I'll just talk a little bit about it. I mean, it had a great first half, I would say, first 3 quarters even, and the ending was just like very, very, very disappointing. It just
sounds like Golf
took
Story.
The wind right out of it. So, unfortunately, other than that, it was awesome.
Phoenix Wright, Spirit of Justice, or Mario Kart 8.
Phoenix Wright.
Phoenix Wright.
I think Mario Kart's a better game, but it came out like 2 years ago, so I'm also gonna say Phoenix Wright.
Why is Mario Kart 8 on this list?
Ask fucking Keenan.
Why?
It came out on the Switch.
Right.
And honestly, like it was a little bit more compelling for like Chris bought it again too. Like
it's great, and I don't regret
more
it. It's
accessible,
amazing.
Right?
Yeah, it's great.
I guess that's true. Sure.
So here's a big one, and it's kind of funny that these two got matched up in like the first round.
Once I know, I wonder. Oh, can I guess?
Sure.
It's gonna be Mario Odyssey and versus Breath of the Wild, right?
That's exactly what it is. For me, I'm gonna say Mario Odyssey.
Yeah. Eh?
Yeah.
I didn't play Mario Odyssey.
As someone who played and finished both, I'm gonna say Mario Odyssey.
What are you saying, Keenan?
As somebody who didn't buy Mario Odyssey, I'm going to say Mario Odyssey.
Wow, I thought you don't like Mario games.
I don't, but I can't support this Breath of the Wild stuff. I have a big problem with open-ended open world games. Like I get.
Are you talking about the DLC stuff? Or are you talking?
No, I'm just talking about in general. I don't find the small dungeons compelling. I never found the large dungeons interesting in any way.
Wait, hold on.
I found it. I'm sorry.
You didn't like small dungeons, and you never felt large. You mean large dungeons in this game?
Yeah, in this game are uninspired. Like I didn't like islands.
What's that?
Did you play this one at all?
Yeah, I did up to the major dungeons.
Yeah, and I thought the major dungeons were fine.
They're fine, right? Yeah, I agree.
And I think that the little ones were cool, but not as the main selling point of the game.
Mm-hmm. And I was
there's
say, like,
the repetitive too. It's not, I don't see all this stuff that people are talking about, saying like, oh, they're interesting every single time and stuff. Like it's just to me, it's people not seeing patterns and not seeing pattern recognition. In my opinion, like I found it very boring and like nothing was compelling me to move forward.
You know what though? First half of the game was amazing. I'll give you that. Mm-hmm. First half was so good, and then it just turned into a grind.
It was bloated. It was just bloated.
Yep.
I mean, well, like Keenan, if I had to ask you what some of your most favorite Zelda dungeons, I mean, maybe it's hard to actually remember which dungeons, but do you remember which games you had your favorite dungeons in them?
It's easy. It's Link to the Past and Link to the Past 2. Like I found those ones
what's Link to the Past 2?
Oh, he's talking about
whatever
the flat one.
What's it called?
Link Between Worlds.
Link Between Worlds, yeah.
No, you know what?
Uh,
I feel like Link to the Past and Ocarina were the best.
yeah.
In any
Didn't
case,
so just because I haven't played much of Majora's, does Majora's does the Majora's engines hold up
they're
very
good.
well? Or
They're good.
I
I've
remember
never
liking.
enjoyed. I've never really enjoyed a 3D Zelda.
Hmm.
Like
Two's
they just don't
fun.
connect with me.
Which
I
which
still like the 3D ones, but I agree that Link to the Past is bananas. It's so good. Even now, you go back and play it, it's so good.
Mhm.
Next
I
up,
wanted to ask a question just for briefly. Like,
Sure.
does anyone remember my favorite dungeon? I one I really liked was, I don't know which game it was, one of the 3D ones, and there's this big like jar in the middle of the dungeon, like gigantic, like I don't know, like pot or jar
it's
or
like
huge,
water temple,
maybe.
and you
I
have to
don't know.
push the things to turn on different water spouts and stuff. It's Majora's Mask's water temple
No,
thing.
it wasn't Majora's Mask. It was I
Oh,
feel like it
Ocarina
was
then.
either Wind Waker or
Okay.
Skyward.
Let's keep going instead of talking about what your favorite dungeon you can't remember
Oh,
is
you just want
from
to
20
burn
years
through
ago.
this entire list and not talk about anything? Okay.
Well, no, we can. It's
No,
just
no, no.
completely irrelevant. You want to talk about something that didn't come out in 2017 or 2016 or the 15 years
Uh,
since then.
I'm not
And
gonna.
Tim, for the record, what was your vote? What was your vote for those two?
What was my vote? Mm,
Yeah.
I would vote Breath of the Wild just because it's the only one I really played.
Because you're contrarian.
No,
The
No, I accept that.
next one is uh, Cuphead versus Monolith.
Cuphead. Easy.
I'll go with what Tim chose, Cuphead.
Even
I'm
though
gonna
Because
you
pick.
were like,
I didn't play Monolith. I don't find it's a shooter, right?
Monolith?
Yeah.
Look up a video of it. It's a top down twin
It's
sticky
a shooter,
robot
right?
I'm gonna vote.
Shoot 'em
I'm gonna
up.
vote
top down
Monolith.
twin stick shooter.
Okay, so I vote Cuphead.
Okay, Cuphead wins. Cook Serve Delicious 2 versus Mighty Gunvolt Burst.
Oh, jeez.
My vote for
What
Gun.
are you choosing?
My vote is Gunvolt.
Wow. Okay. Okay, I'll go with what you're going with. Mighty Gun Volt Burst. I don't have a fight with those two. So
Yeah, me neither. But wait, is Mighty Gunvolt Burst the one that 8-bit one that you played
So
the hell out of?
the Mega Man one.
Yeah. That I would vote for that too, even though like because
It's
I'm familiar
great.
with what both are, and I saw enough of it that I was quite impressed with it.
Good.
That
Good.
team did a good job.
Next
Super cool.
next one is Static versus Nidhogg 2.
Hmm.
Both strong games, but I'm gonna
Both are
give it to
strong.
Static just because the art is shit in Nidhogg 2. It doesn't. It's really fun. Nidhogg 2 is great. It would be even better if they had a competent art team. And I shouldn't. That's not fair. It's an art style
They're
that I
competent. It's
personally
just
don't
awful.
enjoy. Yep.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I see what they're going for, but I mean, and I played both as well, and I
Actually, no. I changed my vote to Nidhogg.
all right. Why?
Just because.
Why? That's
Because
not
it's
a reason.
fun. I don't ever want to go back and play Static again, and I could play Nidhogg any day.
Yeah, but that's well, that's I don't know. Okay, sure.
You asked
fine.
me why I changed.
Static.
That's why.
Static. I will go.
What we got, bud?
Tim, what'd you vote for?
Static.
I vote for Nidhogg too.
Nidhogg 2.
I own Nidhogg too, so
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to play Static at your house the other day. So
Here's a big one. You ready? I know you guys
Okay.
are gonna have a lot of trouble with this. Neo versus Prey.
Neo.
Yeah, me
Neo.
too.
Even though I didn't play Neo and I played Prey,
Oh,
I had so
fuck.
much trouble with Prey. I mean, you
Neo
guys
is
were
so
You
good.
you still have a lot of like Tim. Are you still very mad about what's gone on with Prey because you were pretty ticked off at a point, right?
I was, and then that kind of burned out, and then I was left with something that was patched again, and then didn't play quite as well as it did before. And by that point, I had gotten a little further in the game, and I was just like, yeah, this is what this game is. And it didn't. I mean, it's trying to recreate that System Shock 2 vibe, right?
Mhm.
But I think I have more like nostalgia for those types of games. I don't think I'm actually interested in playing that type of game anymore.
Okay.
So unfortunately, but I mean, look, if you're looking for more of that type of game, it's a great game. I think they did
Mhm.
patch it reasonably well. I mean, some people might disagree, but They got it to an intermediate point in terms of frame rate and response.
They got it to a passable level.
Yeah. Well, they went one way and then they went too far that way, I guess. And
that's rough
fine.
praise, man. If you, I mean, I can't imagine like as you're a guy waiting for them to make it like right, and they just keep missing the mark in some way. It must be incredibly frustrating. Like,
I think the way to play it is on a good PC. There, let's put it that way.
Okay.
Right. And eliminates all that annoying stuff.
Okay, ready?
Oh.
Darkest Dungeon versus The End Is Nigh.
Ooh. I played The End Is Nigh over like a couple days and finished it. So it was a great experience. Really good platformer, like in the Super Meat Boy style. Awesome. But I have to give it to Darkest Dungeon because that narrator, man. I looked up some of his other stuff. He is really good. Like that narrator just makes the game. He is like 50% of why that game's amazing. For me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you do.
Well, yeah, I do. What?
Yeah, I love Darkest Dungeon, so that's where it goes. Chris?
Yeah, also I haven't played either, so I'm gonna say Darkest Dungeon. Hollow Knight.
Mm-hmm.
There's one missing. How come this didn't come out?
Fire Emblem Echoes.
No, we talked about it. We did.
Already.
I'm going to read them all really quick, and you tell me which one we missed, okay? Nier, Wolfenstein, Yakuza, Rez, Destiny 2, Gundam vs. Super Hot, Golf Story, Phoenix Wright, Mario Kart 8, Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, Next Machina, Golf Story, Cooks Are Delicious 2, Everybody's Golf, Mighty Gun, Volt, Static, Neo, Nidhogg, Cuphead, Evil Within, Resident Evil, Monolith, The End Is Nigh, Darkest Dungeon, Thimbleweed Park, Prey, Fire Emblem, Hollow Knight.
Yeah, Fire Emblem and Hollow Knight.
No, we
talked about it.
I'm sure we talked about it.
No, you just said Fire Emblem. Like
Golf
those were the
Story
last
is
two,
on
right?
twice. It's because there's two golf stories.
Is there?
Okay, well, I'm gonna kill.
Hollow Knight.
Okay, Hollow Knight belong in the top or the bottom? Is it a pass or a fail?
It's a pass.
It's
Oh
a
yeah.
pass.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So we got our first tier.
All right.
Sure.
Now I'm gonna take all of the winners from that, and I'm gonna drop it in again,
Okay.
and then we'll put them against each other a second time. We'll just
Very
keep going until we have.
We'll keep having one that passes through because we're. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
We have the wrong number. That's true.
Do we have like a? How about this? Why don't we put Picross S? Is that the Switch one?
It's okay, Chris. We'll keep passing one through.
No, here why not? We'll just do Picross S, and then Picross S fails because Hollow Knight's better.
All right.
And then we're back to even. Okay.
But wait, how many do we have?
2, 3, 4, 15.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Hollow Knight then. Got it. All right. So now it's Nier versus Neo.
Nier.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say the same. I love Neo, but Nier was really good.
In terms of what I'd rather play would be Neo, but
Okay, that's fair. Wolfenstein 2 or Nidhogg 2?
interesting.
I'm gonna vote for Nidhogg. With the important understanding that I didn't play Wolfenstein 2.
Yeah, I'd have to vote for Nidhogg too, because I mean, I haven't played Wolfenstein.
How much does that piss you off, Keenan?
I really love Wolfenstein. Like I think BJ is a really impressive bit of writing in that game. It's got incredible story moments. It's something that I think people are going to have to overcome some of the combat and everything like that. But to me, it's got the most incredible moments out of
your argument is, it's the story's great, but the game's not that fun.
The first-person shooter element of the first-person shooter is a little bit lackluster.
That's true for a lot of games, man. A lot of the games this year have flaws, man. Like it's just the way that it is this year.
So Nidhogg's fun as hell to play, but it looks like shit.
Exactly. So, Wolfenstein looks great, but yeah.
Tim, you changing your vote?
No,
neither am I. Yakuza 0 or Hollow Knight?
That's
for me,
Yakuza 0.
For me, it's Yakuza, hands down.
Tim, I love Hollow Knight, but I have to go with Yakuza. There's just a breadth of what they were doing in that game that's just incredible that they
How
nailed.
far are you in Hollow Knight, by the way? May I ask?
No spoilers. No spoilers.
No, asking how much. How far? Like,
How many hours?
yeah.
I think about what was it, around 7?
Oh, okay. All right. Fair enough.
I was pretty
Sorry.
far in it.
Destiny 2 versus Gundam versus
Destiny
Gundam
2.
versus.
Destiny. Do you want to try to argue that, or are we going to leave it?
I've never played Gundam versus. I'm just.
I can't. I love Gundam versus, but with the way that they have like paying for extra mechs and stuff, I can't.
What is that, Destiny?
It is.
That's like Destiny's even worse.
Yeah,
I'm counting core vanilla Destiny, everything up until raid. Okay, like I don't
Sure.
even raid you can do without buying anything extra.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Well, you can do everything. It's just everything. Yeah, I know. So the next one is Super Hot versus Cuphead.
Ooh.
Not even, not even a question to me. Cuphead's dumb. Super Hot
You
wins.
didn't play it. Neither of you guys have played Cuphead, have you? Have either of you guys played it yet?
Did Super Hot come out this year?
Not
VR
Chris.
did.
Keenan,
Yeah,
did you
on
play Cuphead
PC.
yet?
Sorry.
Have you played
Oh,
Sorry?
Super Hot
played
VR.
Cuphead?
I'm not interested in it.
I'm the
Yeah.
same. I just nothing for it.
Cool.
Golf Story versus Phoenix Wright. I'm gonna say Golf Story.
Golf Story is.
Oh,
No, I would say Phoenix Wright, but I just don't Golf Story.
because you're contrarian.
Both are gonna say Golf Story. I didn't play Golf Story.
I think actually, can we talk a little bit about Cuphead? I know you loved Cuphead, but I can't stand
So
the
did
art style.
everyone
It's
else
way
in
too
the entire
busy.
world.
Except for me.
Except for you.
Now
There's
who's
there's at least a handful that don't like it, Tim. Like that's not.
Well, here, hold on. I don't want to say that I don't like it. I want to say that I'm just not interested in playing it.
It's weird, you guys are. I would expect the opposite before it came out because you guys both like what's it called games
No, I love Treasure.
Treasure, right?
I like Gunstar Heroes. I
Yeah.
don't like the weapons that they have in there, like whatever the shooting with the fingers and stuff like that. I don't really like
Do you
the.
know the
I
weapons?
don't. Yeah, I've seen tons of playthroughs with it, man. Like
weapons that
the
you
bosses
get in
look
terms of-
really interesting and whatever, but
Mhm.
I have no interest in the art style whatsoever. Like I
Alright.
can't stand that art style.
Okay.
Mario Odyssey versus Mighty Gunvolt Burst. I love both, but I gotta say Mario.
Keenan? You're gonna say Mario.
I gotta say Mario.
All right.
There's
Mario's
a lot of
fine.
charm in that game.
It's really good. It is really, really good.
There's a lot of charm there.
But talk about like the repetitive grind in the end game. Like it's just the same thing over and over again. Like I don't know what Nintendo's doing. That's not how you stretch it out, you know. In any case, we got.
So how many hours was there of like good solid stuff, and then padding? How many hours? Like what?
Yeah, I
what
wonder.
would you ask
I would still say like a good probably 20 hours.
of regular good stuff, solid stuff?
Huh.
Cool. Okay. I think that's more than acceptable for a Mario game.
Are we gonna give Darkest Dungeon is the odd man out? Are we gonna put it in the top or the bottom? Is it a pass or is it a fail?
Pass.
It's a pass.
Cool. I'm gonna have to play this thing.
Dude.
I love like going through this activity where like I don't think there's any games that all three of us played.
I know. It's actually very interesting that this is the case.
All right, so now
Well, the one we did play, you don't like, Tim. So
which one's that?
Destiny
Yeah,
2.
Destiny 2.
Oh yeah.
Actually, we all played Breath of the Wild as well. That was something we all played.
And it's interesting that those two games are the ones that we've talked about the most, right? So the next round, there's 8 games left now that we're narrowing it down from.
Sure.
The first one is going to be the hardest discussion that we have. It's Nier versus Golf Story.
All right. Well, I'll start because I haven't played either one. I'm gonna have to give this to Golf Story.
You're an idiot.
I'm allowed to vote.
Kanan, which one do you like?
What do you think?
That would be hard. And now I'm just saying,
Near wins.
Near wins.
Near wins.
Well, real tough. Tough to say.
Nidhogg 2 versus Yakuza 0.
Yakuza 0.
Same.
The hardest one I know is going to come up. I already can predict what the hardest one's going to
Tim, are you interested in Yakuza at all?
Yeah, theoretically. It's why. See, this is the way I view it. I view it as a real time sink that I don't know that I'm going to. Do you know what I mean? Like, it feels like a lot of hours to put in a game like that.
It is. It is.
Even a game that I like Evil Within 2, I still have to go back and finish the rest of it, and I played about a half of the game.
You're not going to go back to it.
I will. Oh no, definitely will.
Are you going to pull this shit when Monster Hunter comes out?
What?
Oh, I don't have time for it.
For what? Monster Hunter?
Yeah.
Monster Hunter. If we included Monster Hunter in this list, it would beat everything on this.
It's gonna be 2018. What I'm asking you though is, are you gonna pull the I don't have time?
I just gave you my answer. I said if Monster Hunter was on this list, it would beat everything on this entire list.
Yeah, but I'm not asking you how good you think it's gonna be. I'm asking you, will you play it? Will you put time into it?
Well, do you think I won't play it if I play all the other ones?
I hope so. Yeah. The next one is Mario versus Destiny 2. And to be honest, and I know maybe you'll laugh, this is a hard one for me.
You're getting
Tim, do you know what you're gonna say, right? But
the masterwork weapons are sucking you guys back in, eh?
No, I'm not playing it at all. I think it's shit. Oh. But what I got from it, I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
It
was mixed for me. There was something really cool things, and I really liked. I just felt like from the stories you guys told me, we didn't get that. Exactly.
I agree with that too. Yeah.
So it was disappointing, and then there was a lot of problems that I actually noticed myself, not just because of your stories, but just the things that I noticed that were frustrating. So those two things together really made it, and I was really hyped for it. So
I think a big
boner for it.
A big part of why I have such good feelings about Destiny 2, despite it being not very good, is the holdover from Destiny 1, right?
Yeah. Well, it's just, I was just thinking, that one night I probably was laughing so hard I cried for a good
doing emo shit in the tower.
Yeah. So that's the thing, right? There's things that piss me off.
Potential.
That's what makes it even more disappointing.
I know.
Come on, Tim. Destiny's just saying it wasn't all bad. Come on, baby. Come back to Destiny. It wasn't all bad with me.
Maybe in a year.
Keenan, what's your vote?
This is hard.
I'm going to give it to Mario. It should have been Destiny, but it's Mario.
I'm going to say Destiny I loved a lot. I spent a lot of time playing it. I thought it was good for a beginner. I took my time with it, got through everything, and didn't feel too rushed to meet up with you guys because I knew I wasn't going to be in the first raid group and things like that. So just try to get to there, try to work through it, and it seemed like it kind of pushed me through past in the end game. There was a lot, I spent a lot of time in it, and I think it's a pretty good game. That being said, it's just not delivering on the promise of, I guess, the stories of Destiny 1. And I was hoping that Bungie would have learned their lesson from the first game, and that's the disappointing part about this game. It seems like from what everybody said is this is a regression, right? Mm-hmm. And so I can't reward that. That's really kind of kicking in the teeth. So whereas Destiny is 2 steps back, Mario Odyssey is maybe 1 step forward. So I got to give it to Mario Odyssey.
Okay. Tim, your vote means nothing, but what is it?
Well, you know what it is, Mario.
Okay. And then the last one is Darkest Dungeon versus Super Hot.
Ooh.
Super Hot.
That's tough. That's really tough. I know Chris is going to say Super Hot, but
no. See, here's what I'm struggling with. I really like Super Hot, but I haven't played Darkest Dungeon.
Yeah.
But I'm interested in playing it. I just haven't.
Yeah.
But you haven't played VR either, right? Super Hot
That's
VR.
right.
You've only
That's
played
right.
Super Hot.
I'm gonna vote for
I'm
Darkest
gonna
Dungeon
split it.
because I think hold on, did Darkest Dungeon come out in 2016 as well? And this is like for some expansion bullshit.
Well, expansion, yeah.
Get the fuck out of here! Super Hot.
Darkest Dungeon. I played it. It doesn't matter. That
shit.
I don't care. And it came out on other systems, just like Mario Kart 8.
I love
Tim,
this.
Tim, I guarantee in your heart of hearts, you actually do want to say Super Hot.
It came out on. No, it's tough. That's the hardest one we had for me. That's so difficult for me.
I've heard you wax poetically about Super Hot VR, what it does, like the exercise it's given you, like all this stuff that's so great, man. Like it's an experience that you can't get anywhere else, man.
And I'll tell you, with Darkest Dungeon, it was a different journey. I bought it on Steam, played it and at that time I was stressed out. I was like worried about work and stuff, and I was like, this isn't the time for this game. I feel like it's not going to reward my time. I can't spend my time. I felt guilty because it's a pretty big endeavor to start that game. You feel like you're getting into something. So I refunded it. Then I got it again.
Sorry, this is for Super Hot or Darkest
Dungeon? Then I got it again.
Now I definitely vote for Super Hot.
And it just, it was the right time, and it just pulled me right in, and the ambiance and the tone and the freaking narration's so good. And it's also a fun game just to like. I like the two setups, like the town phase and the dungeon phase, and I like the strategy that you can, all different strategies you can use, and it's such a good strategic roguelike, and it doesn't feel like and it doesn't have that like sting, that really bad sting that roguelikes have, where like it does a little bit, but it doesn't feel bad when you lose party members because they're not like party members in like an RPG, or party members like you don't. It's not as bad as XCOM, I feel like.
Okay. But everything that you've talked about, right, is what's in the core Darkest Dungeon. What's new, or what pushes the expansions? Because like we kind of have to like say, I mean, this is 2017's game, so we're talking about the DLC specifically, I think, for this, right?
Sure.
What specifically about the DLC is different from the game that pushes it to something that's better than everything else?
I admit that it doesn't really belong on the list.
So can I interrupt for a second here too? I say that I don't think that either of these belong on the list. I think that this is bullshit that they both made it this high, because we could have had something that belongs here instead of these.
No, but Super Hot VR is on. Is 2000.
It's the same game as Super Hot in VR.
No, it isn't.
It really isn't. I mean, like Chris, like
you would say it's a different game.
It feels completely different. The mechanics are completely different. What you need to do in the game is different.
Play it first.
All right. Okay. So we're saying Super Hot then?
Super Hot. Yeah, sure.
Okay. We are down to final four. No surprises outside of 3. But do you know what? I think it's really funny that Breath of the Wild got put out in the first round. and Super Hot VR is in the last.
Good. Had more fun playing Super Hot.
Golf Story made it. Golf Story made it from Breath of the Wild.
Good. That means our list is working. Our method is working. I agree with the whole thing.
All right. So the final four for best of the year 2017 official link cable list here. Nier versus Super Hot.
Nier.
I thought Nier was going to be versus Yakuza 0.
I'm glad that
That's
it's not.
Matchup.
I'm glad it's not. It should be the final.
It's going to be.
Okay,
it
so
might
Super
be.
Hot.
We'll see.
Super Hot is. You vote for Super Hot?
Yeah.
You're contrarian.
No, I didn't.
Nier. And then the last one is Mario and Yakuza 0.
Ooh, now let's see. Oh, let's see where your loyalties lie here. I want to see this shit. I know what the right answer is.
I want to hear. You do know what the right answer is?
Oh yeah.
I want to hear your. And let's say for these ones, Nier and Super Hot, you don't need to argue because shit, like it's
Fine.
neither. But these two, I want to hear from both of you.
Okay.
Wait, what am I fighting for? I'm
Well,
fighting for
just-
Yakuza 0.
No, you're gonna fight for whatever you like. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Keeping in mind that neither, so Tim didn't play either of these games.
I played one of them.
And Ken only played one of them.
Chris, I think it's much more interesting if we hear from you first. Not us.
Actually, no. I think it's more interesting if he hears from us first.
No, I don't, because it gives him an out.
No, we should do it.
Because he won't have any like. If we let him go first, we're gonna use whatever arguments he has.
Yeah, I want to hear from Tim first because he didn't play either, and then I want to hear from Keenan because he only played one of them, and then I'll throw in.
All
Mario.
right, Tim.
It's Mario.
Why Mario?
Mario.
Because I'm more excited to play Mario. From what I heard everyone talking about. I don't know.
Okay.
It's
What about
it's
Odyssey?
better.
Is so
It's a
exciting to
less
you?
of a time sink and
Mario's less of a time sink.
yeah, potentially.
I think
3
I put
hours,
more time
maybe.
into Mario than I did Yakuza.
Well, I don't know.
Is that
Oh,
even
Mario.
possible, Chris?
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Look at the way that I play Yakuza games are like I will absolutely go through the main story. Like I'll finish it for sure.
Mhm.
The side stuff I only play if it's fun.
Mhm.
Like if I don't enjoy doing it, I'm not going to do it. And a lot of stuff in Yakuza I don't enjoy doing.
Did you finish the real estate stuff?
Yeah, of course, it was fun.
Okay, so that took quite a bit of time. You leveled up all the buildings, leveled
Yep.
up your character,
Everything
right?
maxed.
got all the secret skills and everything
Yep.
like that.
Yep.
So it was
And I
like
did the same. I did the same for the Hostess Club too.
yeah. So
But that was the fun stuff.
sure.
Like there was a lot in that game that also was like all the sports are terrible. The pool is terrible. Like mahjong is terrible.
Sure.
Ashong is
Sure.
terrible.
Okay, great.
Chris
Move on.
didn't play.
Kim, let's hear it. What do you feel about these two?
Well, look, I mean, Yakuza is like filled with cool guy stuff with wrestling and like all sorts of amazing moments of like. Let's just talk the side missions because they're the only things to like to talk about that we can talk about separately because they have a whole different tone, right? I mean, the kid with the video game was like one of the funniest things in the entire thing. The sneaking mission to get the
porno mag. Yeah.
Porno mag.
Oh,
the naked dude.
A naked dude, both of them in both cities. A fucking statue that was shitting his pants.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Like I don't know, man. That's just amazing bits of comedy, right? And then you've also got like the crazy real estate main story that has incredibly touching moments, hard to watch moments.
Absolutely,
that are like hardcore. Like
you ended
violence.
up finishing it, eh?
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna again because I won't spoil this game just because. But the scene in the basement,
we could just say
you know
the
exactly
chair
what
scene.
I'm talking about. Yeah,
the chair scene. It's like
heartbreaking.
Oh.
Like I completely in tears. Completely came apart. Like the worst thing I've ever seen. Like the most it was the worst. And I think
then there's a catharsis at the end, like watching like Kiryu beat the crap out of every single person.
It's such a. I think that if a game makes you feel anything, even if it is like trash, like it's a success, right? Like that was the goal, is to make you feel like that, and they totally.
Wait, are we talking about Yakuza or are we talking about Nier? Because I think Yakuza actually plays well. Yakuza plays pretty well. I mean, I don't think it plays like trash.
So here's the part this is difficult though, because Yakuza 0 was great. I really enjoyed it. I know that it's probably the game we talked about the most on the podcast this year over everything else.
Yep.
Is it iconic? Is it something that's going to stand the test? Because that's the tricky part. Mario Odyssey is really good, and it's really fun. It looks amazing. Like, there's a lot of beats in this game that, like, are the pinnacle of Mario series. Like, any Mario games that I played, there's a couple things that happen where you're just like, this is the coolest thing ever.
So is Odyssey such a like I think so the Cappy mechanic, the taking over
That's fine. I
of
don't give a
different
shit about
objects.
that. I don't care about that.
No, none of that like comedy bit in there and
No.
like swinging around like a cheap cheap and stacking Goombas and stuff. That wasn't interesting.
It's fine.
Okay.
That wasn't a selling point to me.
Okay. So what's the selling point to you for Mario Odyssey?
It was fun. It was just fun to play. Like, and that's not the mechanic thing. It's not the hat thing. Like, I liked running around just as Mario. I like jumping on stuff. I like going all over the place. I like collecting coins. I like collecting whatever.
Remind me again where it ranks in your Mario order. Like I know you and Don talked about it that time, but I
real
don't
close
remember.
to the top. Real close to the top.
Like what's above it in your opinion?
I don't know. Like I'd have
64?
to sit down and think about it. It's so hard to compare them though, right? Because 64 has been such an amazing game for so many years.
Sure.
Like, and it was such a huge game at a very important time in video games and in like my personal life. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like it's very difficult to compare those two.
Okay. Galaxy 1 and 2.
I would put them above Galaxy.
Odyssey is above Galaxy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is huge because Galaxy was amazing.
Yeah. 3D World.
Odyssey. 3D World was fun, but Odyssey.
Wow. Okay, so it's pretty high for
right
your
up
3D
there.
Marios.
Yeah.
It's probably the
honest-
highest 3D Mario, probably.
And to be honest, I'm stalling here because I still don't know which one.
I know that.
I honestly don't know. They are both really good. For the sake of making Keenan suffer it out, I'm going to say Yakuza 0 in this round. I'm going to put Yakuza forward just because if we went to Nier and Mario, then it's over.
It's still over.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so sad.
What? How about this, Tim? What do you think is going to be more interesting?
Which? No.
Or it doesn't matter.
What's more interesting of a fight?
I know what Keenan's saying. I know what Keenan's going to say, and I know what you're going to say. And I know what's going to win the game of the year, and this game I have no desire or inkling to ever play.
Yeah, but that's your problem, because it's the best game of the year.
Whatever.
So I'm going to say Yakuza 0 just to put it ahead, just for interest sake. Which means that in the top two...
Yakuza 0.
Which means that Nier Automata wins game of the year.
Well, no, let's talk about it for a second.
All right.
So Nier and Yakuza 0, if I put them into the randomizer, it's going to be Nier versus Yakuza 0.
What a shot. So here's my, after talking all that stuff about Yakuza, here's my argument for Nier. Everybody seems, or at least the general talk in the internet is about how Nier has rough edges around the playing of the game. Like it's not Platinum's best platforming character action game.
Is that true?
Is that what
people say?
Yeah, that's what a lot of people say.
From when I was watching people when it came out, I was interested in seeing how it played and stuff. It looked, I got that impression as well. But I was like, I don't know. I've never played it here. I don't know what this.
It's not deep like Vanquish or something else like that, like where there's a mechanic that pushes you through the entire game. That's not where the draw is. It's a mechanic that is competent enough to get you through the storyline, because what it's going to allow you to do is the legacy of Nier is that it's an incredible story with pretty terrible gameplay. This is I would say above average gameplay, but it's not mind-blowing. This is not what you're coming here for.
Okay.
But the game itself, like it allows you to get through it a lot easier. It's a lot easier to swallow. It's a lot easier to get through. In some places, it's actually fun. Like I don't think it's they have a shooting mechanic. Like I don't know if you saw any of that, Tim. Like where you hack into things, and then there's a whole shooting.
Hold on.
Sure.
They have a hacking mechanic in the second playthrough of the game.
Oh.
Yeah, have to beat it first.
But that's technically you're supposed to do that. So
It's the first third of the game for sure.
and
Yeah.
is the hacking mechanic
It's so
deep
good.
in the game?
Well, you can hack any enemy, Tim, and then you
hack
like
bosses.
shooting.
And
Yeah.
does the game get harder? Does it use that mechanic well?
Yeah.
There's harder shooting like areas or arenas. It's basically like a twin stick shooter, but you have like
Obstacles.
obstacles and stuff, and bosses or things that are more difficult enemies have more difficult areas for you to do shooting, and the shooting's actually all the hacking is I would say, like, if you want to continue playing with the regular like hack and slash, you can do that. You don't have to do the hacking, but I mean it's there. And then
are you meant to do it, or
yeah, I mean like
think of it as like a character's skill, right? Like if you want to use that skill, then you can, and if you don't want to, then don't use it. Like if you get a new skill that's powerful, you're probably going to use it, but you don't have
it's
to.
a pretty powerful skill.
that it was integral to the second playthrough, like that.
Because if you go to a boss and you hack him, then the boss like it will change his behavior because you've hacked him, right?
Yes, and it also means that every single piece of music in the game, and by the way, every single piece of music is excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. It's so good. It's haunting. It's they make up. So here's some of the stuff that they do for the music before I get into some of the other stuff. The person who sings the music and the way that they did the lyrics, they imagined what and this is going to be light spoilers for Nier, what the French language or Russian language or whatever language that they were using for that would be like many years in the future, because then you like the language might evolve into something. So it may sound French, but it's not actually French. It's just like mumbo jumbo in French or whatever you want to call it. And so they composed new languages and music for that. And every piece of music that they have, when you hack into somebody, you get the 8-bit version of that song or 16-bit version. So every single piece of music has that, and it's amazing. The transition that you go through, it's instantaneous. There's no real load time between fighting and then hacking into the people. It's just a great to me, like all that stuff is great mechanics in the game, great atmosphere in the game. And that's not even talking about the story, which is heartfelt, heart-touching. It does things talking about humanity and thinking about what it means to be human.
And I'm gonna say, even without the deeper like philosophical stuff, it's a bananas like at the surface level story. Like just what happens and what it's about is crazy.
The game does things. The game does things like, okay, we talk about, I think, like Metal Gear Solid 2 as a story that can only be told in video games. Nier is the same way.
Oh yeah,
especially
yeah.
The first Nier Automata, both of them are games that can only be told as a video game, and it's the kind of thing that you must play because you can't experience that story anywhere else.
It's interesting that you say that, because the big argument for video games is being this new medium still, where people are trying to tell stories, but the stories in video games are terrible and they're always ham-fisted and forced and not interesting, and I just want to skip it because I want to play the game. Where with Nier, I want to push through the game so I can get back to the story, because it's just the way it's set up and the way that you get to experience it. It's true what Keenan says. I don't think that it's something that you can replicate so easily in a book or in a movie or in a TV show.
And it sucks because now that I'm talking about it, it's going to ruin it for people playing it the first time. Because when you play it the first time, you should know, like, okay, you gotta kind of get.
But we don't need to talk about it. You just say it. It's the kind of thing you need to play, right?
Yeah.
It really, Tim. It's. I think it's completely worth it. It is really, really good.
You're gonna see it on, like, I don't know. I think a lot of people saw on the surface is like machines trying to find out what it means to be human and stuff. It goes so
I
far
don't even.
beyond
Yeah, I
that.
don't even want to. I don't want to even
Yeah.
explore that at all. I want to. Hey, I got a question for you. Related but unrelated. Become as gods, or this cannot continue.
This cannot continue.
Yeah, I think for me it's become as gods. I've never been so afraid playing a video game in my whole life. Like this deep, like existential terror. So are we comfortable? I know Tim, you're unhappy with it, but are you comfortable saying near for that one?
Am
I mean, you can pick Yakuza if you want, but I mean, we're both sitting on near, so it's
Yeah.
be near.
Sure, fine.
So we have the game separated in tiers. Do you want to go through the process of getting like an order of top 10 and then just saying the rest are tiered?
Sure, whatever.
Like we can very quickly just go through the last ones and kind of slot them in. So Mario or Super Hot? Is it fair to say Mario? I'm going to vote for Mario. Let's say that.
I will.
We're going to have an upset here? I like this.
Damn. As far as being a new experience, I think Super Hot VR does something new that I've been waiting for since I saw The Matrix. You know what I mean? It's on that scale. I would.
Tim.
Super Hot also came out in 2016. You fuckers.
VR, not Super Hot. What? Yeah.
I'm gonna go Super Hot VR.
Yeah.
You guys are gross. You guys are gross.
Yeah, this list is redeemed for me.
So again, and that's fine, What I'm saying though, I disagree. It's totally cool that you guys like Super Hot better than Mario. My issue is that Super Hot came out last year.
And I keep saying VR did not come out last year.
All right.
It is the one game. Like, let me put it this way: it's the one game that I would say like everybody who has any kind of VR headset must own.
Yes,
it's not no comparison.
And I'm the one who champions Resident Evil 7 like crazy, but
you mean the one that went out in the first round?
Yeah. And if I had to choose those two, that would be tough. That would be real tough.
Okay, let's do 5, 6, 7, 8. It's going to be Golf Story or Deepest Dungeon.
Wait,
or
well, what else? There had to be other ones there.
No, at this point, no. Well, there's others, but I put them back in the randomizer.
Okay.
Or do you want to just do it like of the 4, which is the best?
Just keep doing it the same way.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll keep doing the same way. All right.
Golf Story or
Darkest Dungeon.
Dankest Dungeon.
Dankest Dungeon.
Which also came out not in 2017.
I don't care. It's on the list now. It's too late.
Golf Story. Golf Story.
I'm also going to say Golf Story. Just because I didn't play the other. Golf Story was fun. It was a good little game.
That doesn't sound like the greatest endorsement, but fair enough.
I would like to pick
between Golf Story and Mighty Gunvolt Burst.
Yeah, that's a good. Well, no, it would have been Mighty Gunvolt, like hands down.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Destiny 2 or Nidhogg 2?
Nidhogg 2.
You're an idiot. Destiny 2.
Nope.
Kanan, what are you voting?
Destiny 2.
Yeah. All right, then.
I love you, Tim.
I had my.
He said. So to tidy up the last one, Nidhogg 2 or Dankest Dungeon?
Nidhogg 2.
Agree. Okay. I'm gonna put. Are we really gonna
top 10?
We have a top 8. You want to do the whole list? You want to get 30 in order?
Well, just give a top 10. Let's do a top 10.
Just keep dropping this shit in. So we have 7 to pick from for the last 2 spots.
Fine. Let's figure out how to do that. So we have a top 10.
What do you want to do?
Okay, what does everybody want to put in the last 2 slots?
Why don't we just keep doing randomizer until we get the top 2 of these? You okay with that? All right, here we go.
This is such a stupid.
But it's true though. I like the there's some kind of randomness to it.
Sure.
Oh shit! I can't count. There's only 1 left. So one game from these is going to hit that 10 spot.
Okay.
Oh,
in
shit.
this case,
I think it's total fucking bullshit that Darkest Dungeon is in the top 10.
It shouldn't be.
I agree, because it's not a real game.
it's not a real game. No, I agree with you.
No, the DLC is the problem.
You can call it. You can call it. I allow you to call it.
So we're gonna get rid of it.
I get rid of it.
All right. So we got. So it's gonna be 2 of these. So what we'll do is we'll work through these 8 until we have the top 2 of these.
All right.
Neo versus Gunvolt.
Neo.
Agree.
Gunvolt.
Wolfenstein 2, Gundam versus.
Wolfenstein 2.
Wolfenstein.
Yeah, I'm also gonna say Wolfenstein, even though I haven't played either. Hollow Knight versus Cuphead.
Cuphead.
Ooh. You're saying Cuphead, Keenan?
Because like I'll acknowledge your love of that game. You said it was like the best game of all time, right? So I'm giving you this.
It was a great experience.
No, but who gives a shit what Tim says? You vote for what you think.
Yeah,
I'm gonna vote Hollow Knight.
Yeah, you have to vote for what you think. I'm actually gonna say Hollow Knight. I'm freaking in love with this game right now.
Okay.
All right, fine.
Even though Cuphead's awesome.
Phoenix writes the odd man out. Does it get a pass or is it dropping down?
Dropped.
Agree. Okay, so it's down to 3. Are we gonna do the controversial thing and drop it in the randomizer again, and then have pass or fail on the third?
We should just drop
3.
one.
We should just hash it out. What do we got?
Neo, Wolfenstein 2, or Hollow Knight? What do you want to do? You want to just talk about those 3, or do you want to?
Yeah, I think so. We could talk about it. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna be. I'm gonna say Hollow Knight, but
to get in, right?
You guys will be more interesting.
No, you're voting which one to drop.
Oh no, then if I vote which one to drop, I'll say Wolfenstein.
I will too. Is that how we're gonna do it?
Yeah, let's drop Wolfenstein.
Okay. So then Hollow Knight or Neo for number 9 and number 10. For me, I'm gonna vote Neo, and it's crazy to me that Neo is a number fucking 9 or 10, because it should be higher than that. But that's the process.
I'm gonna say
that's the process.
Yep.
I'm gonna Hollow Knight.
You guys make me fucking sick.
Why? You're excited.
I am, but fuck, Neo is so good.
It's fine.
Okay.
It's still on the list. It's 10.
So as a recap, we have. So for the record, I am totally comfortable with going through and doing the rest of these because this is fun as shit.
All right.
Our top 10. If you want to stop listening after this, because I don't know, are we doing the other 20 as well?
It's how far? How long are we here? Are we an hour into this thing?
We are at.
Talk about or I don't know.
We're at. I don't know. It doesn't say.
Other categories we were gonna.
Yeah, no, let's talk about other shit instead. That's better. Okay, so our top 10, the official Link Cable Top 10 2017. Starting from number 10, Neo. Number 9 is Hollow Knight. Number 8 is Nidhogg 2.
Wow.
Number 7 is Golf Story. Oh, shit! I made a mistake.
Oh, my God. What
Golf Story is already up at 5. We have Golf Story on the list twice.
I already told you Golf Story was twice. You didn't eliminate it.
Speak up more.
Oh my God.
Okay, so that means what we have to go back to then is that Wolfenstein just goes to 10 then.
All right. Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Number 10, Wolfenstein 2. Number 9 is Neo. Number 8 is Hollow Knight. Number 7 is Nidhogg 2. Number 6 is Destiny 2. The number 5 game of 2017 is Golf Story.
Wait, how does Golf Story at 5? How come it's not 8 instead in Wolfenstein?
Because it was a higher tier.
Let's. Do you want to switch that around?
We can't. It was higher tier. We can't.
Because it was in different brackets, right?
Yeah.
Right, but that's the point of doing this, is that we can't move them around. Like, it's just a bracket thing. It could have been. We could have had Nier versus Yakuza in the first round and had to kill one of them. And it's just the way it worked out, right?
Yeah. That's not a good thing.
Golf Story number 5. Mario Odyssey number 4.
All right.
Super Hot VR, which came out last year, is number 3.
Yes.
Yakuza 0 at number 2, and Nier Automata at number 1.
All I cared was about was
Right.
what was at number 1.
Yeah, and I don't. To be honest, I don't think there was any content that said that it wasn't going to be.
Did you feel like it was that anything would have eclipsed it just after it came out? Were you thinking it was going to end up number 1? Like back then when you played it, would you have been surprised if someone had told you?
To be honest, from listening to Chris talk about stuff, I was really surprised at how much he liked Nier, because I thought he loved.
I love like the first one is like one of my favorite games ever.
I
I'm
know,
really
but
surprised.
I never heard you talk with that much passion about it, about Automata.
It's, you know what? my only criticism is that it is very much more of the same from the first one. Is that fair? The first one was a new experience where like it completely wrecked me. It was like one of the greatest experiences I've ever had playing video games because it was so new. Like it completely fucked me up. Where this one, I expect it from Nier, and so going into it, I was like, yeah, this is cool. Is that fair? Like it's really good. I love it. I don't want to say that I've already seen it, so it's boring. I want to say it's not the shock that the first one was.
You can never go back to having your first time again. It's just,
that's right.
That's just how it is.
All right, let's move on.
Especially when with the first Nier, I expected to be like some shitty third person like jank fest. And then I got no, but that's all I expected from it.
Okay, yeah.
And then all of a sudden it threw all this other shit at me, and I was like, whoa, like this is not what I expected from this, you know?
Yeah, to be fair, when I kept hearing all the stories about Nier,
to be fair,
and then even seeing what the new one looked like, right, and hearing your stories about the first one, I thought this was just going to be a cash in, like
it wasn't.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally do, but it was not.
Yeah, so that was surprising to me that you guys, that turned.
I really like that Yoko Taro's turned into like video game celebrity of 2017 too.
I really love how Tim's like cashing in on the first game that nobody played.
That sold like 20,000 copies. All right. The thing that I think is important to talk about, I think it's very, very, very important to talk about the games that we did not play that very well may have been on this list. Is that fair? Sure. I think that it's real important that we talk about Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think I don't think none of us played it. Is that right?
I did not.
I
think that it would probably be on this list. I didn't play it.
Do you think
Don's not here?
Yeah.
Do you think if Don was here, do you think he'd pick that over Breath of the Wild? Because I feel like they're in the similar zone.
It's a good question. That's a really good question.
That's where those two feel like they're definitely competing for the same space. So I wonder what he would say.
I think internet says that Breath of the Wild is better by a long shot.
Yeah, I agree. But...
yeah, it's funny. I think that if Horizon had come out any year other than this year, it would have done gangbusters. Like everybody would be talking about Horizon now instead of.
I think I would agree with that.
Yeah. So I think it's important to talk about that. I think, or at least acknowledge the game.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys missed that you feel maybe could have made it?
I think I played everything I wanted to play. To be honed, I mean.
It's been a really good year for games.
Okay.
I mean, I might have. Yeah, there's maybe things that did Shenzhen come out this year? Because maybe it came out really early this year. Because that is one that I might have. But I think it was
on games on a lot of lists.
Oh no,
Shenzhen IO came out in 2016.
16, yeah, no. It was right around the end of 2016. That's why I'm still thinking about it.
August, I think.
His new one's gone like crazy on everybody's top 10 list.
The new one doesn't quite.
What's it called again? Sorry.
Hold a candle to Shenzhen. Opus Magnum. It doesn't hold a candle to Shenzhen at all, in my opinion.
Would you put it as better than some of the other games on the list that we talked about?
Which Opus?
Yeah.
No.
Really, eh?
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
Didn't pull me in at all. compared to Shenzhen.
One game that I think
players unknown battlegrounds. Nobody of us played it.
Yeah, that's true, and that would, you know what? If we were into that, you know, I'm sure.
You have to be a teenager to be into that, though.
Oh,
it helps.
A lot of people, like, come on, 10 million people are playing that game. It's not
10 million
just
teenagers.
Yeah, okay.
It helps. It helps. Oh, it helps.
It just, I feel like that game it's not for me.
Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, even me. I mean, I can see why it might be fun. Look at it this way. The only thing that piqued my interest was when they announced first-person servers, where you only can play in first person. I had no interest prior to that. The third person, where people can like see around corners without actually being visible or like actually showing their body around the corner. I hate that mechanic.
You guys want to start up Fortnite after the pod?
No. That's exactly the reason why I would never play that.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like it's not for me. I feel like, and you know what? It's my perception, right? It's the way that I see whatever. But
if Fortnite was first person,
they seem like teenager games.
I mean, it's a new genre, and then it just really appeals. Like it's that like
internet streaming culture thing. That's how I see that game.
Yeah, definitely picked up because of that too. I don't think it's a bad game. I think it's doing its own thing. But
and I don't mean to knock it at all either. That's why I say I don't think it's bad. I think it's not for me.
Yeah.
Like it could be on other top 10 lists. It's just not going to be on link cables, right?
Yeah. Tekken 7 was huge.
Who gives a shit for Tekken 7?
I don't know, man. If I played it might be online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, and I think that this is going to be at odds with a lot of lists that you see this year, you don't see Persona 5 anywhere near this thing. It doesn't deserve to be near this thing because it's not good.
It's really disappointing. Like that's actually like I was kind of curious because I was thinking maybe I will pick it up on the cheap at some point. But now that I've read enough about it and heard from you guys, it's like there's no way. I know I would play it for like maybe 10 hours and then drop it. So
we lost 2 games at some point. I gotta look back through the list and figure out which 2 are missing from here. I know one of them's Darkest Dungeon. I don't know what the other one is. I deleted something. I'll look at it.
Well, it's not in the top 10. No.
Yeah. Is there any other games that we need to talk about? Is there anything that you feel like? For me, the biggest disappointment was Persona for sure. How about you guys?
Yeah, I mean, you were looking forward to that a lot, right?
Yeah, for years.
Yes,
we saw the menus. Everybody's hyped for it.
And that shit is beautiful. It's like one of the most stylistic games I've ever seen. It's fantastic. It's just I don't need the story explained to me again and again and again through slow ass text over and over and over throughout the game. Like you don't need to spell everything out.
The other thing that I heard that I don't know from people who actually play the game, I'd be interested. Like I heard that they do some really shitty like Japanese stereotypes of gay people again in this one.
Shocking.
Or it's just like ridiculous nonsense. It's like
but that's. I mean, not to excuse it, but I mean that's a cultural thing, right? That's where Japan is right now.
Yeah, no, I know, but right, it still got translated. You'd think that
I think it's a lot less excusable when it's a North American game. Like I know what you're saying. I know it's expectations. You just never expected that would be any different.
They're a few years behind. The culture's not there right now. Like it's just they're gonna play catch up in the next like 2-3 years, and you're gonna see a little bit change. But you still have crap like Galgun and stuff coming out all the time, right?
Awful.
I think it's gonna be a bit more than a couple years for them, to be honest.
It'll be
yeah, we'll see.
They get into trends with things, and then as soon as that hooks, then basically it just spreads. When you see the whole Me Too thing explode on Twitter, you hope like that stuff will filter into Japan and like people will start taking that stuff more seriously and stuff. But you're right. They're religious society. It'll be hard, but where America goes, that's where Japan goes eventually. So
in 15 years.
My worst disappointment is just EA in general. like this year was just like I don't understand what's going on with that company.
Yeah,
I mean, if I cared about any of their games, maybe I would be disappointed. But...
Yeah, but Star Wars could have very well been on this list if it wasn't just what happened with it, right?
Star Wars, Mass Effect, Need for Speed, like these are all games I ordered, canceled, and said like screw it, like I can't do this anymore. It's just like I don't know what's going on at that company. Ubisoft, frankly, is eating their lunch. Like the Division is still like a really popular game right now. People are playing it. People are like spending money in there. I don't know where EA is going. It's going to be kind of interesting in the next year to see what's going on in that company. But that they've been super disappointing. Did you have a best moment from all the gaming that we did this year?
Best moment? Ooh, that's
like in a game that really, or a moment in a game that really touched you in a certain way.
I mean, Nier is an obvious one, yeah, because it is an obvious one. Like we just talked about the basement thing, right? I think it on a different level outside of story, VR fucking killed it this year, dude.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
always
let's give it to VR.
looking for new gaming experiences. I think we've talked about that multiple times on the show. Like, I want to play new kinds of games. I'm tired of just, which is fair, I think, to say, third person open world. Okay, great. Like it's fine and it's fun, but it gets old, right? And it's the more new experiences that people can bring, the better. And VR was the first thing in a long time where I was like, holy shit, this is completely new.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I think
best
VR
best
sure.
feels. Yeah, I would say best specific feels. Grabbing 2 ninja stars out of the air and friggin' cross-arming them to the left and right of myself and killing 2 guys, grabbing both their knives and slashing the next 2 guys with like back the other way with both arms and then wrecking my
super hot VR. You mean?
Can I tell you what? Can I tell you what my favorite VR experience was this year?
Yeah.
Also, and guaranteed is a large reason or a large part of the reason why, but it was also the first VR experience I had, and the one that made me say, "Holy shit, I need to buy this when I get back." Right? Was playing that One Piece thing. It was bananas.
Oh yeah, right.
Like the game itself was total ass. It was the worst thing. Like the worst VR game I've ever played in my life. But the story thing, like standing on Thousand Sunny and standing next to like Straw Hats and having like Brooks like 11 feet tall or something, right? Like he's massive.
Yeah.
And so to stand on the deck and look sideways and have this giant skeleton beside you, it was awesome.
This is something that you can only play in Japan in the exhibit, right? They never released it.
Right now, though, apparently is beta, and they're actually working on the game. It's going to come out this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't know if it's going to be Japan only or what, but 100% I'll jump on that shit. Like even just for that part, the game was awful, but hopefully they fix it a little bit.
I don't know if it's the best moment, but Pascal's whole ending arc in Nier,
Yep,
like I had to.
Let's not talk about it. Just a story beat. A story beat in Nier was your favorite. Great. Just like a story beat in Yakuza was my favorite.
Yeah. All right. Anything else?
I'm okay. Is there anything? I mean, what about looking forward to 2018? Anything you want to get off your chest? Anything you're thinking about?
January's good.
January's
Monster Hunter. That's all I care about.
Yeah. Monster Hunter.
One other game which I think we've talked about, and I think Keenan may agree, and it should be coming out is freaking, oh my god, my brain stopped working. Not Dragon Ball. Spelunky 2.
Dragon Ball. Spelunky 2, like it'll be cool, I'm sure, if you're into Spelunky. Like Spelunky, the first one didn't do it super for me. I can't see the second one being a huge evolution. I think that there's.
Well, yeah, I know. I agree with you. Actually,
I think there's an absolute formula. Yeah, and because if you wander too far off the course from the first game, then it's not going to be Spelunky anymore.
Nope, that's right. So I'm waiting with bated breath. Let's put it that way. Like I don't know how it's going to be, but
yeah.
More good VR stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know what's coming
nothing.
out.
And I'm the same. Nothing in particular strikes me right now, but I'm looking forward to new VR in 2018. I'm looking forward to Yakuza 6 in I think April. And
Yeah.
outside of that, the big ones for me are the same: Monster Hunter World and Dragon Ball Fighters.
Oh, and I have one more. I don't know. We'll see if it makes it next year. Actually, there's a couple. There's a couple. Resident Evil 2 remake. We'll see we haven't heard anything about that for a long time. And I would have
Have we heard anything at all? Is that a thing?
Yeah, it is. And friggin' La Mulana 2. That may come out this year. That's gonna be interesting. Again, it falls into the same category as Spelunky 2. Like it'll be hard to make a sequel, but we'll see how it goes.
Some games don't need sequels, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I know what you're saying.
Cool. All right. It's been fun this year. This was the first full year. You know, we started this podcast in November, started December 2016. So thanks for sticking it out with us for the year, and look forward to a happy 2018.
Dragon Ball.
See you later.